I always thought about harming myself.
I'm shy. I struggled with making friends.
I never thought I could do anything. I have extremely low self esteem.
Lately, I've been eating my pain away. Just throw it back up. I've been struggling to lose weight. Somebody said I don't fit in just because I wear my hair the way I like it.
1 out of 5 American girls suffer from mental health problems. Don't be that girl. Talk to someone.
Those thoughts I had are long gone, for I have a future I need to get to.
In order to get better, I had to do better. I learned how to make friends.
I believe in myself. That's when everyone else did, I set an example.
Instead of me eating everything, I started watching my calories. The weight is falling off.
I wanted to change my hair, but I decided it was for me. It's for me.
A PSA from the Curvy Girl Project.
And good morning, and welcome to Expose Under the Sun, sponsored by the Detroit Native Sun newspaper. I'm your host, Darwin Griffin, and I'll probably mess up a couple of times today because I got two beautiful women in the studio with me today. My special guest today, former state representative Ms. Cynthia A. Johnson, as well as the phenomenal Claudrine Jackson. As everybody knows, and I'm sure that there's nobody in this world that doesn't know who the Spinners are, and probably there might be one person that might not know that Purvis Jackson sung with the Spinners, but it might be just that one person, but everybody else knows who the Spinners are. I think about I'm just thinking about a lot of songs that I'm thinking that the Spinners sung. So I'm also very, very pleased to have Miss Claudrine Jackson in the studio with me today. As everybody knows, she does a show that comes on after mine, Spoonful of Comfort. So once my show ends today, make sure you don't leave and you watch her show that's going to come on afterwards. And she does a lot when it comes down to the Purvis Jackson Foundation. So again, please look up her information, go to her website, and please give an opportunity to go and let her know how much you support her and her foundation. But today, if you'd like to call into our show is live. Our call-in numbers are area code 313-868-0342, 313-868-0351, or 313-868-4336. And our website is www.tv33whpr.com. And you are watching us live from the phenomenal cities of Detroit, Michigan, under the auspices of the Honorable Mayor Mike Duggan, as well as the phenomenal city under the auspices of the Honorable Mayor Glenda McDonald. But some of you see the shirt that I wear. This is A. Philip Randolph Institute. I am the vice president of the Detroit Downriver chapter, and also the vice president for the state of Michigan for A. Philip Randolph Institute, or APRI, as well. We just recently had a fundraiser, very successful, down at Mike Aaron's place, local 1191, this past Saturday, and we had barbecued and chicken dinners. We also had games for young people to play, and I also did I guess I was kind of like the new, I'd say the Steve Harvey of game shows, because we did a trivial Black History trivia game that we did, and we paired the Wayne Wakandas versus the Dim folks, and it was just interesting just listening to the people and the competitiveness that we had during that game. So everybody had a good time, everybody had a lot of fun, and we really enjoyed breaking bread and fellowshipping with one another Saturday. So again, hopefully everybody had a great Juneteenth celebration yesterday. A lot of people, there were so many things to do throughout the city and throughout the state and the nation. But, hopefully if you did get a chance to go and celebrate Juneteenth, I pray that you looked at Juneteenth as not just a day to get out and have barbecue or to get out here and go and just take a vacation day from work or something like that. There's a lot more to what Juneteenth is all about. So for those of you that may need to go and break open your history books and read up more in terms of, say, about Juneteenth and the date 1865 that a lot of people have on T-shirts and sweatshirts commemorating that date, please do that and know in terms of, say, about what occurred. I mean, some people, instead of it being Juneteenth, they call it Emancipation Day. And what a lot of black people look at Juneteenth as being was like the day that black people, had an opportunity to find out they were not slaves anymore. They weren't under anyone's servitude. Basically, the thing is that a lot of people celebrate on July the 4th. They celebrate Independence Day, but Juneteenth is what a lot of people feel is black people's day that celebrates that Independence Day for them. But now we know that there's still a lot of things that black people are still under the subject of when it comes down to not having their full freedoms. And we know that there's a long way that we still have to come to have the same freedoms that other people have. So the thing is, the fight still goes on. We are still doing what we need to do. So I please encourage everybody, don't give up the struggle, because the struggle still goes on. So again, stay woke. But today, and then lastly, there's a dinner that's coming up this coming Saturday and Sunday. There's a dinner on Sunday, which is the Freedom Fund dinner that NAACP is sponsoring this coming Sunday. And my frat brother, the senator from the state of Georgia, Raphael Warnock, will be the keynote speaker. And I've been remiss because I was trying to think of this person's name, and I couldn't remember his name because he's going to be honored. I believe he's in his 90 years young, and that is the Honorable Julian Bond. So he's going to be there at the dinner. I look forward to getting a chance to go and see the greatness that he just exemplifies, at the dinner. So I'm praying that he and his wife, they're going to be there at the dinner. So those of you that may go to the dinner this coming Sunday, please pay respects in terms of saying, let him know how much you really appreciate all of the things that he's done throughout the years when it comes down to civil rights and civil engagement. So again, make certain that you go and you talk to him, talk to his wife, and express to them how much you really are looking at the things that he does. And hopefully there'll be many more years that he will be able to go and inspire and encourage a lot of us today. Today, I've asked, I don't really think of her as a former state rep, but she is still the Honorable Cynthia A. Johnson, who represented District 5 in the city of Detroit. Cynthia A. Johnson, State Representative, how are you this morning?
I am well. Thank you so much, Darwin, for calling me and asking me to be here with you today. I appreciate your invite.
Well, it is a pleasing pleasure to have you.
Pleasing pleasure.
That was something that was that Les Brown had said. I met him years ago. And that's one of the things that he said to me, that it was a pleasing pleasure. So, I don't know if it can get too much better, but the bottom line is that it is a pleasure to have you on Expose Under the Sun.
Absolutely,
today.
And thank you. Let's get to work. Reparations.
Right. Well, let me first ask the first question. I know you want to run this interview, but let me ask
I
this
don't.
question. Let me say this. All right. How's life been since you have been retired from, when I say the word retired, But since you have not been a state representative, how's life been? That's the question. That's the prevailing question that everybody wants to know.
They want to know,
They do.
how am I?
How are you?
I am okay. I am grateful. I'm seeing a lot. There's a lot of confirmations that I am personally seeing since the folks who did not want me to run again, the folks who set me up. Yeah, I was set up. But I'm okay. I'm still, I can't say too much, but those who did what they did to me, they will have to pay. It's been hard some days. I have found myself drinking too much. And I'm working on that. I have felt beat up, but I'm not out of it. I'm not out of the race. I'm not, and not to say that I'm running again, because I don't know that I'll ever do that again. But I pray for this city. I pray for our people. Those are things that I do often. So I'm okay. I'm okay. You don't believe me?
No, you look great. I mean, if I had to look at you from outward appearances, you look great. You know, only time that people really know what's really in the heart or really in the mind of the person is by them to go and verbalize that. But from looking at you, from seeing you today, you look just like you did from all the years that I've known you, from times when you and I used to do a radio show together, from times that I've been up to Lansing and seeing you when you were, you know, up there with the house, and times that we've gone out and about in the community. So from what I see still the great Cynthia A. Johnson, the friend that I've always had for all these different years. And I don't see that what you say in terms of say with anything else that may be going on. But the main thing is that I'm sure the people would like to continue to see you in the greatness that they've seen you in the past, and would like to see you in the greatness that I know that you know that you can still give to the people in the city of Detroit.
I'll be advising as much as I can. I'll advise. And saying that,
And that's what a lot of people do. Those that cannot do teach. And you may be in that position where you may be more of that mentor to a lot of people in the community in a lot of different ways, either verbally or in some of the actions that you may do.
well, let me say this, Darwin. I would love to run again if I knew that I was with like-minded people who really are working to help eliminate many of the issues that we have, and people who are willing to work for the people and not corporations. Because it's just, I can't even begin to tell you how bad it is to be with a group of people who are fighting so hard against the people. So I'm going to say this. understand this, and I want people to understand that this is a campaign season right now. And you're going to get a lot of people who are going to come to you, knock at your door, come to your church, ask for your support, give you a lot of smiles, as they should. Hey, Sharon Dumas. But I want you to ask these people a couple of questions. And if they can't answer a yes to it, they will do everything they can to support reparations. That's number one.
What is reparations?
Reparations is repairing, paying back. You've hurt a group of people. I'm talking about black people right now. You've hurt a group of people, and they are still hurting. And you have the government is the beneficiary of slavery. The government. And the government has not paid back what it owes. It doesn't care. It seems like it just appears to me as that this government says a whole lot, do a whole lot of talking, but ain't saying nothing. Not for us, not for black people, not to repair the harm. And the state of Michigan has gone just a step further, because in our state of Michigan, in our Michigan Constitution, Article 1, Section 26, I believe that was added. I'm not sure. Maybe we can look it up. I think it was either 2008 or 9, something like that. But they added that section in the Michigan Constitution, which pretty much states you cannot give preferential treatment to anyone based on race. That's what stops us immediately, puts a brake on any kind of repairing black people.
Let me ask this question. So repeat what you just said again.
Okay.
In regards to the
Reparations.
preferential treatment to any race. But go ahead.
Okay, so, and I'm going to look it up too. But
the question I want to ask you from that is that now black people do get preferential treatment when it comes to affirmative action. Am I correct or not?
not, no. Based on that, based on Article 1, Section 26, it strips pretty much for, I'm talking about in the government. I mean, you know, government jobs, blah, blah, blah. It does not, stop private companies from giving black people preferential treatment based on the wrongs, the past wrongs, based on the current, even the current wrongs that continue, we're continually being bombarded. So Article 1, Section 26, and I want you guys to look it up. It needs to be, we need to eliminate that out the Constitution. And I'm not sure how many votes it would take, but we need to be working on that, eliminating that, so that we can start talking about reparations.
So now,
So that we can, so that the government can begin to repair us.
so when we're talking about reparations, I know back in the day people talked about the 40 acres and a mule. Now here we are in 2023. what would you, Cynthia Johnson, like to see when it comes down to the repayment for reparations?
Yeah, because a lot of people get their
A lot
own,
of people have their own different
own
right.
ideas
Correct.
of what reparations would be about, but I want you guys to take a look at reparations, the reparation House bills, House Bill numbers 5672, 5673, and 5674. Those are bills that I introduced. Those are reparation bills that I introduced. The first,
Say those again.
the House Bill numbers 5672, 5673, and 5674 of 2022. House Bill numbers 5672, 73, 74 of 22.
Okay. So, again, what would you like to see?
What I would like to see is the Democrats to pick up and reintroduce those bills. The first being a bill to create a fund. Creating the fund so that you can have somewhere to put the money once it's appropriated. So you have to create it first. The second bill would be about, oh my gosh, it's been a while. The second bill would be about appropriating $1.5 billion into that fund. The third would be, how will we be able to keep the fund going? How do we keep making sure money is in that fund? Well, there's one good way. To hold these companies who come to the state of Michigan asking for appropriations or tax breaks. For instance, and this is only one of many. General Motors came to the state in 2000, I think it was 21. I voted no on it. Anyway, they received $1.5 billion of our tax dollars. When they would ask for that, or they would get it before they can get that $1.5 billion, they would have had to pay a surcharge, a 13% surcharge. That surcharge, 13% on that $1.5 billion, that would have to go into that fund. That would continue to create, to allow us to have a fund. Now, what's the fund for? It is for businesses, for us to have a, for lack of a better term, a piggy bank for those of us who want to go into business or those who are already in business.
To keep their business solvent.
That's exactly right. That's what that fund would be about. And the reason that I believe that would work so much more than actually giving money to you as an individual, and maybe we could do that too, but this particular fund would be about creating generational wealth. It would be about creating jobs, creating training for our people, and we would be the ones running it. That's what I would love to see.
Well, we've got about 5 minutes left in the show. You know, this time goes by so quickly. But so primarily then, what you would rather see is to put the money into a pot so that people would be eligible to be able to go and retrieve this money to keep a business started.
That's right.
Or to further their education when it comes down to training, job creation. Now, some people are saying to go and give how do I say it, like incentives to buy housing, to buy a house or to get a mortgage for a house. What's your thoughts on that?
Okay, so
Because I guess what this was something that occurred in Evanston, Illinois, where they were apparently letting residents that were eligible for reparations.
okay, so I don't know too much about that, but what I do know about in the city of Detroit, as far as this land value, have you heard about land value that's being pushed by Mike Duggan? And what they're trying to do is how they're trying to sell this idea to the people, and it's supposed to be on a ballot in February. They're trying to tell the people that your property value, your taxes are going to be decreased. But that's crap, because what they're trying to do is trying to take land from those of us who live in the city of Detroit. Let me give you an example. Say there's a vacant piece of land, and say that currently right now, as an example, that the city is selling it for $100. What they want to do is take that same land and increase what it costs on that land, which means that now they can sell the land, not $100, which most of us can afford to pay that, but it might be sold for $1,000, that same property. You get 100 of those properties, and for $1,000, we can't afford that. And they know this. Detroit is on it's gentrification on steroids. So when you ask about the state who's using reparations for housing, and that's good, but in the city of Detroit, land is being stolen right in our faces. Right in our faces.
So there's more that needs to be done than just with the land. Because, I mean, the bottom line is that you're talking about generational wealth. And if you're talking about generational wealth, you're talking about there's some people that may not have aspirations to want to buy a home, that may want to go and do, like you said earlier, business, to help create a business so that they can go and maintain that opportunity to buy a house and to maintain a house and to maintain a mortgage and things like that. Cynthia, our time is up. We're going to have you back on. Would you consent to come back on the show again with us?
I sure will.
Beautiful. We have been with the Honorable Cynthia A. Johnson for this past half an hour. We're going to have her to come back on the show again. You've been watching Expose Under the Sun, sponsored by the Detroit Native Sun News. I'm your host, Darwin Griffin. And if you'd like to get a copy of the Detroit Native Sun newspaper, you can contact Ms. Valerie Lockhart at area code 313-457-5944. Fireworks are coming up next Monday. Make certain that you stay safe. And people, please, say hello to somebody and let them know that you love them. Give them a hug. Thank you again, Honorable Cynthia A. Johnson.
And thank you. And with regard to fireworks, please remember the seniors and the dogs and the cats who get really afraid of those terrible fireworks or bombs that you all throw in the city.
Okay.
Anyway, stop it.
Thank you for
Stop
getting
it.
that last word in.
Stop it.
Have a great rest of the morning.
Here at the Full and Fabulous Curvy Girl Project, we don't just focus on health, beauty, and self-esteem. We also offer an amazing summer program for young ladies ages 12 to 18. For more information, visit our website at fullandfabulous.org. See you soon.